Exciting times, you have another new parcel here. Let's see what's inside. And take the opportunity to use my new unboxing knife from Peak Spec. Let's see if it's any good. Just made short work of those straps. Oh, exciting stuff. And here we have my first product from SmartWings. These guys make really amazing looking custom fit smart blinds, and these are their new Matter over PoE smart blinds, which I am frankly super excited about. If you don't know what PoE means, it means power over Ethernet, which is essentially a way of plugging a device in to power it and connect it to your network all with one cable. Lots of cameras work this way, and I'm really excited to see smart manufacturers adopt this technology for their devices, because it can provide a decent amount of power for something like a motorized blind, and it will also give us rock solid network stability as well, without bogging down your Wi-Fi or worrying about wireless communications at all. So let's get this opened up and see what we get in the box. You get the instructions for mounting and pairing codes and stuff. Some mounting screws. They've been nice enough to supply me with their 5-channel remote, which I picked up because I have a feeling I'm going to want another set of these for where I end up mounting them. I've got quite a unique mounting idea for these blinds today. Brackets, the PoE joiner. So because there's a RJ45 plug coming off of this, and you'll most likely have an RJ45 cable going to this, you need a female to female RJ45 connector. We've got the light blocking tracks, some nice magnetic tape again, always a nice touch, and the blinds themselves, which feel remarkably light. Looking good. And there we see, as I mentioned, the PoE connection, the Ethernet RJ45 cable, and to power this thing up and connect it to my network, all I will be doing is plugging this into here and a network cable into the PoE switch up there. So as you can see here, we've got the mounting brackets with a Matter pairing code on the top and some nice white shades with white extras. As I said a moment ago, I've got a unique idea for where I'm going to be mounting these, and to see where I'm going to be mounting them, we just need to look up. So it's at this point I should probably tell you, these blinds were not meant to be mounted this way, but I'm going to be mounting them over one of my kitchen skylights in order to better block out the sun than these rubbish old blinds that were there before. SmartWings later told me that this will not work, but I'm taking a calculated risk that it will, with some bodgery. And I'm fine with that, because SmartWings have sent me these blinds free of charge for review, and proper skylight blinds are expensive. Now, these blinds have literally just arrived pretty much today, and I unfortunately don't have a ladder high enough to mount them where I want to right now. So the first thing I'm going to do for now is plug them in right here into this PoE port that I have handily laying around in my lounge, and get the Matter code scanned and see if I can get them added into Apple Home nice and quick. So it says add to home, setting up, adding to home. And that is how quick it is when it's connected to your network via Ethernet. Going to add them in the kitchen. Calling it Skylight Blind 1 because I optimistically would like another set in future to cover the other skylight. And that's it. It's now in Apple Home. And there they are. Let's move them down a little bit just to make sure they respond. Right, no, I've moved them enough. We'll have to look into why they're not moving in any moment. I'm not sure if it's Apple Home being weird or I haven't configured the length yet. But I think the next step is to add them to Home Assistant. Let's go into here, put them into pairing mode, copy the code, head over to Home Assistant, add a device to Matter, already in use in Apple Home. Awkwardly paste in the code and add device. And voila, they're now in Home Assistant too. That is officially the quickest I've ever added any device to both ecosystems. So via the magic of editing, let's move on to me mounting them in the kitchen when I've sourced a tall enough ladder. But actually, first, let's try a proof of concept. as you can see here, I've set up the light blockers on an angle using my sofa to see whether the blind will in fact have enough power and low enough friction to go all the way to the bottom of the light blockers without buckling or stopping. And as you can see here, it does kind of work, but the fabric itself isn't quite rigid enough. So I'm going to have to figure out some way of supporting the fabric in the middle later. But so far so good. I'm pretty sure this angle is more shallow than my actual roof line. So for the most part, it should work. Now to figure out how to mount these light blockers, considering I actually ordered side tracks. Okay, I have here the SmartWings PoE blind. I'm going to be fitting it up there to my skylight. I have had to, unfortunately, do some improvisation. I ordered the side tracks, which I was hoping would hold the blind at an angle to my skylight, but they sent me these 90-degree light blockers instead, which work great for an inside mount, but I was going for an outside mount option, and so these aren't really going to work great because there's nothing for them to stick to. So what I've decided I'm going to do is put a couple of bits of wood on the ceiling and then mount these to the wood to create side tracks. You'll see what I mean. Hopefully this works. So what I'm doing now is mounting the first piece of wood on the side and then mounting the blinds so that I can start trying to get things lined up. Unfortunately, my mounting skills failed me a little bit there and I had to remount the blind. But once I got that mounted nice and straight, I could mount the other piece of wood and get the light blocker all lined up and work on the other side. It's at this point in testing that I realized I had a bit of a weight issue. So I experimented with a few things like magnets on the end of the blind and eventually realized that the magnetic tape that came in the box would add the perfect amount of weight to the inside of the bottom just to weigh it down a little bit so it slides down more cleanly. Now the only other thing to do is to tidy up that cable. I honestly don't mind dealing with a cable if it means I never have to deal with a battery. But some people hate seeing a cable, so if that's you, the matter over thread variant with the optional solar panel would be a better choice. It's worth pointing out here that running this cable back to the PoE switch was super easy for me because I already had one on top of my kitchen cabinets for the Wi-Fi access point that you see on the wall there. But most people don't have PoE switches dotted around their homes. So in this case, you'd run a cable all the way back to your router and use what's known as a PoE injector in order to inject the required power and pass the data on each way. So the only question that remains is, what else can I say about these blinds? Well, in all honesty, this may be the most boring review ever, but I cannot say a bad thing about them. The fact that they are powered and connected via Ethernet means they have absolutely no excuse but to just work. And the only shortcomings of my particular install stem from the fact that I am not using them as they are designed to be used. And yet their quality is so good that they pretty much just work in spite of that. This is honestly my dream product. PoE is the way forward for smart home devices, and I hope more manufacturers jump on board with this, because I don't know if I mentioned, but I hate dealing with batteries and wireless issues. If you would like to pick up a set of these amazing shades, SmartWings offer loads of different styles, all custom fit, over on their website, which I will link below and on my own website. And as I mentioned, there are a couple of different connectivity options too if you'd rather not deal with cables. They've also given me a discount code which I will put down below in the description so that you guys can get a bit of a discount if you pick a set up. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please support the channel in any way that you can using the links over on my website. And remember, home is where the smart is.